growing up, he said that he wanted me to wipe his ass. Wait, can I say that?
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Asking Singaporeans, and on today's episode, we'll be finding out how much allowance should you be giving your parents and is there a right amount? So today we're gonna hit the streets to find out what people think. Let's go! Hi, what are your names?
My name is Julia.
My name is Henry.
Dexter.
Claudia.
Nigel.
Name's Fee.
Alright, nice to meet you, Fee. Okay, so the question of the day is giving allowance to your parents a must? Or do you think it's something nice to have?
Must. Because they have been taking care of you since young. So I feel like it's good to return them.
I think it's a must because obviously they raised me and supported me throughout like my entire 18 years of life.
It's definitely a must. Like, I'd probably give them like a lot of my money, and like I know my parents would want to live with me. My dad, growing up, he said that he wanted me to wipe his ass. Wait, should I say that? He would kill me if I put him in like a retirement home. So like I know for sure like they'd want me to give a lot of my money to them. Well, not want me, but it's just like it's expected. Like if you love your family, yeah, of course.
I feel like it should be a must, right? Because like they raised us and like my parents are gonna pay for my college education, so I need to repay them.
I think it's nice to have. Like for me, I've worked a lot of part-time jobs throughout, right? I don't really give my parents an allowance. It's more of like at the end of the working season, the end of the holiday, I would like bring them out for a nice meal, etc. Yeah. So I thought that the action is what counts more.
I think it's a nice to have. I come from a slightly more complicated family background.
Okay.
So I was surviving on my own since I was 16. I understand that most people would say that giving back to your parents is a must, but
Yeah.
I would say that it really depends on your situation also. But I do stay with my grandparents and I do give them allowance from time to time.
Obviously, if you're in like a privileged position where you're able to give back to your parents, then I think that you should do so because obviously they were the ones that like raised you and made you who you are as a person. But I think if you're making like minimum wage jobs, then maybe it's more beneficial just to keep the money to yourself.
How much do you think you would give your parents based on your full-time salary? Maybe like a percentage, or would it be a fixed amount?
Me, I choose fixed. Currently, because I'm staying at Malaysia, so
Okay.
every month I give my parents like 500.
Wow.
But it depends on my situation. Sometimes if I get extra OT or bonus, I will like keep a bit more.
I'd say, I don't know if it would be like a fixed percentage, but I think if like my parents asked for money, I would give them, like it wouldn't be like, oh, like every month I'd give them 20%. It would be
Oh.
like, oh, if like my parents want something, like I'll spoil them and like buy them
Okay,
stuff.
so if they don't ask, will you give them?
Well, I like maybe like, oh, I'd probably like end up like paying for their rent. Or,
Oh
like, stuff like
wow!
I'll give back 40%.
Wow, that's almost half of your pay.
Yeah, that's almost half of my pay. But then I feel like they have been taking care of us since young, right? I feel like 40% is not even that much, you know.
A bit lesser, like 35% around there, because still a big amount for them. I mean, they probably won't be working anymore.
Because I'm still quite new into business and my cash flow is not very strong. So I give them as and when I can or as and when they ask, so I'll just give it to them.
Maybe you can share what you are currently working as and how much allowance do you give to your parents?
Currently a graphic designer. However, I'm still trying to gain financial independence, and as for my parents, they don't need that money.
Okay.
And so currently I'm not giving them any allowance.
Do you have maybe any part-time jobs in the past that allowed you to be able to give your parents a sum of money?
Well, actually, I did have a part-time job, but at the time, the money was too little to give them.
I didn't give my parents any money, but then like when I like went to go work, there was like a bakery that my mom really liked, so I always like brought her like buns from the bakery.
Oh, that's so nice!
I would say yeah, but definitely not like 30% because they're still like supporting me through college as well. So it's not as much of a need and they're not like fully dependent on me yet.
I'd say both of us, like we've grown up pretty privileged and our parents are comfortable. They have good retirement plan set up. I think both of our parents would be able to live without us.
When you're doing part-time, you can still give back. You give them small amounts, like every time once you get your paycheck, or like treat them out to dinner or lunch.
At what age do you think is appropriate for someone to start giving allowance to their parents?
Mid to late 20s, maybe? You know, once you're a bit stable.
I don't think there's a specific age. It's more of like when you are comfortable, like within your capabilities. Because at the end of the day, like you must make sure that your salary is enough for yourself and your needs. And then if you have extra, of course, it'd be really nice to give your parents. If not, gestures would mean something as well.
It doesn't have to be like a fixed time or like when you get a stable job, because even if it's like really little, you can just give back to your parents, like give them a gift or something like that.
By the time you should get full-time job, you can start giving already lah. Like an actual like maybe 2.5 to 3.5k job onwards lah.
I don't think you should count by age. You should count it based on how much you're earning.
Okay.
Like you can even be earning 2005 and you can still be giving back a bit. But I would say at the end of the day, right, if you are first stepping into the full-time world, give it some time to grow your first pot of gold before even giving back. Doesn't mean you start earning money means you have to give back.
I think most important, you have to be ready for your emergency money. Make sure you have some to keep it as your own first. If there's something happen, you don't know. Once you're really fully stable, about 2-3 months, you only start to giving your parents is the good way.
Okay, do you guys have siblings? Okay, let's say your siblings are also giving allowance to your parents. Will you guys feel pressured if they are giving more than what you guys are giving them?
No, not really. Because I feel like if we give any amount, our parents will still appreciate it. So like, the more we give them, the money they have.
I agree with her also. Because I only have one sibling, so like, no matter how much we give, it's still a good amount, and it shows how much we appreciate them, no matter the amount.
I'll be happy for him. Yeah, we're just not competitive that way. So I get along well with my brother. If he goes to do that, but I can't, that's cool.
Then they solid lah.
Okay.
Yeah, they earn more. I also happy ma. They earn more, then they happy. Then they won't ask me for money or anything. Also a good thing ma. But as long as like we take equal parts to like take care of our parents, all this, then it's fine lah. I don't see a problem.
I don't think it matters. It depends on like his salary and mine as well. Yeah, it's more of like what you can within your capabilities, and I'm pretty sure our parents will appreciate no matter how much we give. Like.
For me, yeah, I don't care. Like,
Nice.
how much you're able to pay, that's you, not me. For example, our elder sister is a manager. She earned a certain amount.
Yeah.
So me working as a foreigner over here sounds like it's very good, times 3 the rates or whatever, but I have to pay the rent. If you stay home, you need to pay rent. So how much you're able to give, you give. But I have my own way of doing it.
For sure. I have an older brother and he's like 8 years older than me. So like we also have like just a lot of friendly competition. So
You would try to give more than what your brother gives.
yeah, but he has an 8-year head start. So
Right. So any final words of advice to the people out there watching this?
To take care of their parents, treasure your time a lot with your family, because you never know ma in the future.
Save your money is very important. Don't anyhow spend.
Maybe just try to talk to your parents if you really cannot afford that. If you're in a financial problem, then definitely your parents will not force you to paying for them as well, because they just want you to be happy at the end of the day. If you have any siblings or whatever, just talk it out. Because if she's in trouble, then I'm able to help her. If I'm in trouble, she's able to help me. So it's worked both ways. Money is very sensitive, but I think it's more towards like coordinate with each other the most. Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for today's episode of Asking Singaporeans. I think the general consensus that we got from the public today is they would love to give their parents allowance as much as they can. But I personally think that it's most important for you to be able to give an amount that you are comfortable with. And I think the gesture itself is what really matters. So tell us in the comments down below how much allowance you would give to your parents, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.